Hi, I'm Nina, and welcome to another chair yoga video. Today's practice is all about balance, balancing the left and right sides of the body, the top and the bottom, the front and the back, the outside and the inside, balancing ease and effort. So why don't you grab your chair and we'll get started. Well, before we get started, I'm going to tell you you're not seeing double. I do have another chair here. And because I want to face the microphone when I'm teaching, I'm bringing another chair so that I don't have to keep moving furniture. You don't need a second chair for this practice. I'm going to be using one. And we're going to start today sitting at the edge of our chair, feet on the ground, really connected. I'm sitting up away from the back of the chair. My sitting bones are connected to my chair. And before we do anything else, let's reach those arms down alongside the body. And let's just take an inhale, letting the arms float up and overhead. And as we exhale, we're just going to float them right back down. Now we'll do it again, but this time we're going to pause at the top just for a count. So inhale, come on up. Pause and float down. We'll do that 2 more times. Option to lift the eyes as you lift the arms. Final round. And then let the hands rest in your lap and just notice for a moment how things have changed just with 4 simple breaths and probably about 30 seconds of our time. Now we're going to move back and sit back to the back of our chair. We'll bring a support so that our feet can still be connected to the earth. And we'll rest here with our palms down in our lap and just take a moment to take inventory. How do we feel? How does the physical body feel? How does the mental, emotional body feel? And then we'll bring that right palm to heart center, put the left palm on top of that, and take a moment to set an intention for this practice. It might be the word balance, or it might be anything else that's important to you today. And then we'll release those hands back down to the lap. And we're going to move back to the edge of our chair again, moving that support out of the way. Bringing your feet to the earth, hands on top of the thighs. And let's just take a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, fill up. Arch the back, and as we exhale, we empty, we round the spine, drop the chin. So just a few rounds of that. Bringing some motion into the spine and tying that motion to our slow and even breaths. And after your next exhale, just come back to a nice tall spine, neutral spine, shoulders down from the ears. And we're going to move this motion now into the head and neck. So we're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, let's turn the head and neck to the right. Inhale, take it back to center, and exhaling in the other direction. So we're sitting up tall. We're bringing gentle movement into the head and neck. We never want to jerk on those cervical vertebrae, right? Got to be kind to the neck. And we're not forcing here. We're moving within our range of motion today. We're just exploring. One more exhale takes us to the left. And then we return to center. Pause for a moment, perhaps roll the shoulders. And then we're going to take our right ear down to right shoulder just to get that nice stretch in the left side of the neck. Now, as I'm bringing my right ear down to my right shoulder, let's think about dropping both shoulders down so that everything is working its way to the earth, and that stretch intensifies a little bit. Now we'll bring the head back to center. then drop left ear to left shoulder. Think about the shoulders reaching for the ground. And then come back up to center, take a roll or two with the shoulders. Now we're going to take our fingertips to our shoulders right now. Notice what happens as you do that. First of all, you want to sit up a little taller. You're pushing into your feet. You're pushing into your sitting bones. We've got this nice tall spine. Crown of the head reaches for the ceiling, and that core engages. So now we're going to turn the head again. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, turn the head to the right, and notice how that belly button goes back to the spine to support you. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, turn the other way. Let's try it again. Let's do another round. We're moving slowly with the breath. One more round. Now pause at the center. Let's release the fingers up. We can turn them to face forward. Take an inhale here. Let the shoulders come down. And as we exhale, let's twist to the left. So this twist, just using those muscles of the core, those obliques. Let the inhale bring you back to center. And exhale goes the other way. Not forcing, not prying, but using our core muscles to help us into this twist. We'll do one more in each direction. And then come back to neutral. Let's keep our hands up. We're doing a little bit of work on the upper body right now. And let's lean over to the right, reaching up through left fingertips. And you'll notice my right elbow just kind of comes down and into my rib cage. And then we'll come back to center and we'll take it the other way. Inhale to center, cactus arms. Exhale, side body stretch, lean right. Inhale, center. Exhale, go left. Come on back to center. We'll do one more on each side. Let's stay here this time. Breathe here in this side body stretch. And then bring those elbows back. We'll go the other way. And then come on back. One last cactus arm, and then rest those hands in the lap. And just notice how that makes you feel. Physically, you're probably a little bit tired. How does it make you feel otherwise? Do you feel like you've accomplished something? Do you feel exhausted? Doesn't matter. Just think about it. Okay. So that was the top. Let's move to the bottom now. Let's pay attention to the feet. Feet are really important in balance, especially if we're talking about balancing on our feet, balancing on one foot. All of those are important. So let's bring our feet a little closer together and let's come up onto the toes. So stretching into the fascia on the bottom of the feet, sitting up tall. Let's take 3 breaths here. And on that third and final exhale, whenever it is, we'll very gently lower those heels back down to the earth. Yeah. And then just take a moment, notice how that makes the feet feel. Big stretch on the bottom. So now we have to stretch out the top. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one foot, just one foot, and we're going to bring it so that the tops of the toes, tops of the foot, tops of the toes, on the floor. And you feel that big stretch on the top of your foot now. This is really good for strengthening the ankle and for stretching those muscles there. So let's take 3 breaths here. And on that third and final exhale, we'll release that foot, bring it back, and take a moment here, because now we got to balance left and right. Notice how that foot feels so different than its neighbor. So we take the other one back. Top of the foot is on the floor. Breathe here. We're still sitting up tall. We haven't lost that length in the spine. And then we release that foot. Wow. Okay. Did we even out the sides left and right? Now let's do a little tapping. Just a little up and down. You can lift up your whole foot or you can just lift up the heels. But if you're just lifting up the heels, then you're going to want to lift up just the toes at a point. So it might be a little easier to do a little, it's like we're running really fast in place. Just some tapping to bring some energy to that area to loosen up that fascia in the soles of the feet. Sometimes it gets all tight and tense, and that doesn't help us when we're trying to balance. So let's do about another 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. And notice how the feet and ankles feel. Even into the shins up to the knees, right? There's a lot more energy moving there now. So, with all of that energy, let's stand up. Once I make my way to standing, I do want to clear my space a little bit, so I'm going to pick up this support, and I'm going to move that chair off to the side just a little bit. And don't forget, I've got my backup chair right here. Okay, and then let's come to mountain pose. So notice how those feet feel now after all of that running in place. We did that wonderful stretching. And let's find our mountain pose. So feet are parallel, they're about one of your fist distance apart. And shift a little side to side, a little front to back. Just finding balance, finding that sense of, oh, this is the middle. And then we're going to reach our arms down by our sides, and we're going to do those 3 breaths that we started with, where we inhale, pause at the top, and come back down. Keeping the feet on the ground. Let's inhale. Let the breath lift you. Perhaps the eyes lift. Exhale, float arms back down. So we're very connected to the earth right here. Feel how the feet feel in that connection. There's that moment of a pause at the top. 3rd and final. And release the arms. Notice how that feels. Now, the feet weren't doing any work other than supporting us here. We weren't moving them, but we were moving the upper body. Just notice, how does it feel? Okay, so here's where I'm going to use these chairs. We're just going to use our if you have just one chair, that's what you're using right now. And I'd like you to bring the chair to your side. This hand that's on the chair is only fingertip control. I do not want you to push into the chair. This is just to help us with balance. If we're going to fall, of course, we'll put our feet down. But we're working still with this ankle stability, ankle strength. The leg that is next to the chair is going to be your standing leg. And take the other leg and just cross that ankle behind it. So I just have a simple cross of the ankle. My toes are going around the ankle. And then, without pushing into the chair, I'm going to lift up onto my toes and lower. Move with the breath. Let's see if we can do 5. This is number 3. And now pause, uncross, put both feet on the floor. Notice how that feels. Notice the power in that leg. Now we're going to do the other side. So in this case, you might just turn around, but oh look, I have another chair I can use. So again, the chair is next to the standing leg. That's going to be our support leg. Fingertip control, not pushing down to lift up here. No way, this is not an arm exercise. It is for our ankle. And then we just cross that foot behind. I've just got my toes curled around my ankle. Let's see what it feels like on this side. Tall spine, inhale lifts us, coming up onto the toes, and exhale lowers. Yes. Follow your breath. The other hand just kind of resting there. We're really focused on that ankle. And we're going to try for 2 more. And if that's too many, you just pause and notice how things feel. Uncross. Pause and notice how those feet feel. What's happening? Okay. I'm going to slide this chair out of the way just a little bit, and we're going to come back to our mountain pose. And this time, we're going to take those same 3 breaths, but we're going to come up onto both toes. So this is our moving mountain. We do this a lot, but it's really good for balance and for awareness, spatial awareness. Arms are down by our side. Think about what's going to happen. It's 3 breaths. We're going to inhale, circle, sweep, lift onto the toes, perhaps lift the gaze. There's a pause for a moment at the top, and then the exhale is going to lower everything. Let's give it a try. Inhale. And exhale. Third and final, stay up. Find that pause. Float it down. Take a moment. Take a breath. Do any wiggling or jiggling that feels good to you. We're going to work with those chairs again. So this time, I'm going to come over to the one chair. And the leg that is near the chair, that's going to be my front leg. I'm going to step back with the other leg. So look, right into a warrior 1. This hand can be here or it can be on your hip. If it's here, it's just a fingertip control. Let's release the long arm down by the side, straighten both legs, and we're moving in and out of warrior 1. So as we inhale, we're going to bend the front knee, float that outside arm up, and exhale, come back down. So this hand could be on that hip. The bent knee in the front is the one next to the chair. You may decide to raise the eyes as we come into this pose, but feel the power of your foundation. Next time that we're lifted, we're going to stay in our warrior 1. Stay here. Look up. Let your shoulders soften. You might decide to add that second arm. That's okay. And then straighten the leg, float the arms down. Step forward. Pause for a moment. Notice how that feels. We use the bottom and the top, the right and the left, front and back, working everything here. Now, you can turn around on your chair. I'm going to just slide over to this one because I don't want to move too much furniture. The leg that's next to the chair, that's your front leg. That's the one that's going to bend and straighten. Back heel is down. We're in a warrior 1 stance. This hand is for fingertip control, or it comes to your hip. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, bend the front knee, reach the arm up, and exhale, float it down. You might take those eyes up as well. The next time that you're in the pose, let's stay there. Lifting the arm up, perhaps lifting the gaze, option to add opposite arm, breathing here. And then float the arms down, straighten the leg, step your back foot forward. Pause here, take a breath. Notice how things feel. Notice sensation in the feet. Have we really woken them up? Okay. Now we're going to turn and look at the seat of the chair. So I'm going to move this chair out of the frame. Yeah. And we're going to turn and look at the seat of our chair. And I'm just going to move that support so it's at the back of my chair. I don't need it. But from here, let's find that nice tall spine, nice long spine. Perhaps even reach those arms up And as we exhale, let's hinge forward, bringing hands to the seat of the chair. My knees bend. So coming here into this nice forward fold, long spine. We'll shift the weight into the right leg and lift up the left leg just as high as is comfortable. And then lower. Now, keep the foot flexed and active and reach back through the heel. And you might be just lifting a moment off the floor with toes still touching. That's fine. We'll do one more on this side. And then return. Switch the weight. Weight shifts to the left leg. The right leg will lift. Let's tie this to the breath. Inhale, prepare here. Exhale, lift the leg. And then bring that leg back down, soften into the knees. One at a time, bring the hands to the thighs, push into the feet and come back to standing. So that was the bottom. Now we got to work on the top. Let's get tall again. Let's soften into the knees, hinge forward, bring the hands back to the seat of the chair. This time we're going to work with the arms. I'm going to start with my left arm simply because it's easier for you to see that. We're going to take that left arm out to the side, palm is down, and your head is looking at the base of the chair. Take an inhale here, and as we exhale, let's turn the head to look at that thumb. Notice how the core engages. And then turn the head back down. Now we're going to reach that arm forward, bicep by the ear, keeping the head looking down at the seat of the chair. Let's take 3 breaths. Then we'll take the arm out to the side again on that after that final exhale, and bring the hand back to the seat of the chair. And now we switch to the other side. So I'm just going to move my chair a little bit so that maybe you can get a little different angle on it. When you're ready, let's take the opposite arm out to the side. You're looking down at the seat of the chair. Take an inhale, spine is long. Exhale, turn and look at that hand. And then turn back down, looking at the seat of the chair. We'll reach the arm forward, thumb reaches for the sky, bicep is by the ear. Let's take 3 breaths here. And after that third and final exhale, we move that arm back out to the side, palm down, and bring the hand back to the seat of the chair. Soften into the knees, bring the hands to the thighs, make your way to standing. Okay, one last standing pose before we go back to our chair. And I'm calling this sparrow. We're really focused on our feet today because our feet are very important for foundation, for standing. So come to mountain pose. I just want to see how much room I have here. Okay, come to mountain pose, and then I'd like you to take just a little seat. Heels are still on the ground, so bend your knees a little bit, and we're like in a little, very shallow chair. And then come on back up. Now, take the arms wide, get taller, sit into your little shallow chair. Both heels are still on the floor. Can we come up onto our toes? Woo! And lower. Do it again. One last time. Heels lower, stand up, float the arms down. Take a roll of the shoulders. Notice how your body feels. Now that one, of course, you can practice with the chair in front of you just for that fingertip control. One hand on that is all I would do. Just to work so that the core gets stronger, the feet and ankles get stronger. And now we're going to come back to our chair. So once we get to our chair, we're going to sit to the edge just to start, and then we'll move back in a moment. But from here, let's take the shoulders up and back and down. Reach the arms down alongside the body. Let's come back to those 3 breaths. Inhale, circle it, and come up. Look up, pause, and exhale, float it down. Round 2. Third and final. Now we'll move back, bringing that support underneath your feet. Slide back to the back of your chair. And with those palms up in your lap, the invitation is to soften or close your eyes. And just take a moment to notice how the body feels, left side to right side. Notice how the top half of the body compares to the bottom, the shoulders, the head, the neck, the feet, the hips. And notice the front compared to the back. And then finally, take a moment to notice how you feel physically. And then notice how you feel mentally and emotionally. And sitting here with just our focus on the breath, this is the ease after all of that effort that we just made. Bring a little bit of movement into the head and neck, gently turning the head one side to the other. Blink open your eyes if they're still closed. And then let the head and neck be still and wiggle the fingers, turn the hands at the wrists. Let's come up onto the toes and lower the heels. And one last time, we're going to move to the edge of our chair, feet on the floor. We'll take one last breath, inhaling arms up, look up, stay for that extra count at the top, and then bring palms together and down to heart center. Let the thumbs rest on your sternum, tuck your chin, and thank yourself for taking time to practice yoga today. And I thank you for allowing me to guide you. It's my hope that the benefits of this practice give us the balance that we need to take on the challenges of the week and the month ahead. Stay well, my friends. I hope to see you soon.